I've not seen a case so open and shut in my life, and the more that I read and the more details that I get into, I'm just shocked at how many lies were told, okay?
Players in one of the ugliest Hollywood disputes in recent memory faced off in a New York City courtroom today.
I believe that they are going to be able to prove in court that this was personal. Ryan Reynolds versus Justin Baldoni, all of the evidence points to that.
Guys, be releasing more documents and text messages?
I assume.
Baldoni is going on the offensive. He just launched a website containing 168 pages of documents and texts.
We're going to move as quickly as we possibly can and prove our innocence, where sometimes people judge you before they give you a chance.
That's Justin Baldoni's attorney, stepping out of the courthouse after a major legal twist. Blake Lively's request for a gag order was denied. What was expected to be a routine pre-trial hearing quickly escalated into something far more intense. Both legal teams arrived prepared, but it became evident that this wasn't just another legal dispute, this was turning into a high-stakes battle. Observers were caught off guard when the gag order, which many assumed would pass without resistance, was rejected outright. Instantly, the tension in the courtroom skyrocketed. Some speculated that Blake's attorneys had come with a different strategy, one that positioned them on the offensive rather than the defensive. But what truly sent shockwaves through the case was the revelation that Blake's team had set a firm deadline. By Valentine's Day, they intended to launch a counterattack. The details remained unknown, but even the mere suggestion of an impending legal bombshell ignited a storm of speculation, each theory more shocking than the last. Reporters scrambled to extract details from both sides. Whispers circulated that influential figures behind the scenes were exerting pressure, while others claimed Blake's legal team was discreetly gathering sworn testimonies from individuals not yet mentioned in official documents. Meanwhile, Justin's attorney, Brian Fredman, briefly addressed the media, maintaining that his client's innocence would be proven in due course. Amid the chaos, one thing was clear: both sides were more concerned with shaping public perception than reaching a resolution. Whether this strategy would work in their favor or backfire remained to be seen, but there was no denying that this case had captured the public's attention. Speculation ran rampant. Just how deep did this conflict go, and who else could get caught in its crossfire? By the time the hearing wrapped up, it was evident that this legal fight was just beginning, and its ripple effects could extend far beyond the courthouse walls. But that was only the first crack in a story on the verge of exploding. What really grabbed everyone's attention were certain cutting remarks seemingly aimed at people once considered trusted allies. One particular thread exposed how a simple discussion over script revisions spiraled into accusations of betrayal and behind-the-scenes sabotage. The individuals involved had once presented a united front, but these newly surfaced documents hinted that fractures may have formed long ago. Observers were left wondering, was this a genuine attempt to clear Justin's name, or a calculated smear campaign against other players? Either way, it forced those following the case to question just how much of Hollywood's polished image was real, and how much was simply an act. And then, as if things weren't already spiraling, a cryptic message in the site's footer hinted at more explosive leaks to come, possibly even more damning than what had already surfaced. The entire ordeal now resembled a high-stakes chess game, with every move seemingly designed to catch the other side off guard. But those who thought the biggest revelation had already dropped hadn't yet heard about Ryan Reynolds' unexpected shift. Once considered Justin's close friend and collaborator, Ryan had been publicly supportive in the early days of their relationship. The two were often spotted together at fundraisers, charity events, and exclusive gatherings, speaking warmly of one another in interviews. At one point, Ryan even referred to Justin as a wonderful Ryan Reynolds, had once been one of Justin's closest collaborators, openly praising his dedication to every project he touched. At the time, his words seemed genuine, especially given the warm smiles and camaraderie they shared in public. But that carefully crafted image shattered when private messages from just a few months later surfaced. In these leaked texts, Ryan allegedly referred to Justin as a deranged predator, a shocking accusation that left fans stunned. The drastic shift in tone was impossible to ignore. Instantly, people began asking what had changed. Had Ryan uncovered something new, or was he pressured into altering his stance? Speculation ran wild, ranging from personal disputes over creative control to darker accusations that cast a shadow over the final phases of their collaboration. Some conspiracy-minded observers even theorized that this sudden betrayal was part of a calculated move, possibly orchestrated by rival forces aiming to fracture high-profile alliances. Amid the chaos, Blake Lively emerged as a formidable force, fiercely protective not only of her own reputation, but also of those closest to her, most notably Taylor Swift. Reports surfaced that Blake was actively pursuing a special protective order designed to prevent the legal discovery process from ensnaring third parties. This move strongly suggested that the upcoming courtroom showdown had the potential to drag in even more A-listers, anyone who may have sent a text, email, or confidential message that could now be scrutinized. Naturally, the moment Taylor Swift's name entered the mix, public interest skyrocketed. Fans and media alike were desperate to know whether the pop star had unwittingly been pulled into the firestorm. One thing was certain: Blake was ready to fight tooth and nail, especially if it meant shielding her inner circle from prying eyes. But as the legal dispute intensified, questions arose. Would this protective order be enough, or was it merely the opening move in a much bigger battle? For those following every twist and turn, it felt like a lit fuse inching dangerously close to a powder keg. And then, an unexpected revelation involving an intimacy coordinator added yet another explosive layer to the unfolding drama. While intimacy coordinators are typically brought in to ensure safety and professionalism during sensitive on-set scenes, their involvement can sometimes become a flashpoint for deeper conflicts, ranging from creative disagreements to boundary disputes. In this particular case, the coordinator had reportedly arranged a critical meeting, where several cast members gathered to discuss potential challenges and ensure a comfortable working environment. But Blake was noticeably absent. Some dismissed her no-show as a simple scheduling issue, while others saw it as a deliberate choice. Theories swirled that something unspoken, perhaps unresolved tensions or uncomfortable past interactions, had played a role in her decision. Critics pointed to these whispered moments as proof that bigger scandals might be lurking beneath Hollywood's carefully polished PR facade. Meanwhile, Blake's defenders argued that she was already well-versed in on-set protocols and had no need for a refresher course. At this point, what had begun as a legal battle between two celebrities had morphed into a sprawling saga, drawing in not only A-list stars but also lesser-known crew members who had suddenly found themselves caught in the storm. Blake's team launched their counterattack, and with it, the floodgates burst open. A wave of newly surfaced text exchanges, insider testimonies, and potentially explosive depositions threatened to reshape the entire narrative. Speculation mounted. Were there undisclosed emails or suppressed questions lurking in the background? Every detail was suddenly up for scrutiny, from the wording of their NDAs to the precise duration of private meetings. Few realized just how much the testimonies from various cast and crew members would elevate the intrigue. Even more striking was the fact that until recently, several key figures had publicly rallied behind Justin Baldoni. One such statement came from Brandon Senar, who had worked closely with Justin, and described him as exceptionally warm and collaborative. According to his account, the set was a place of harmony, there was no visible tension, morale remained high, and the atmosphere felt overwhelmingly supportive. These glowing endorsements painted a picture of unity, but they directly contradicted a set of leaked messages that surfaced online. In those texts, the very same individuals who had praised Justin in public expressed concern, or, in some cases, outright distrust, behind closed doors. Some admitted they had felt pressured to maintain a positive front, fearing professional repercussions if they veered from the script. The stark contrast forced onlookers to confront an uncomfortable reality. In Hollywood, dual narratives often coexist, one designed for fans and media, and another, far more complex, known only to insiders. At the same time, Blake had also been praised for her welcoming demeanor on set. Crew members recounted stories of her small yet thoughtful gestures, bringing gifts, organizing casual gatherings, and making an effort to boost morale. But these warm recollections clashed with her current legal stance, as she now spearheaded an aggressive courtroom battle, preparing to unveil documents that could cast several individuals in an unflattering light. The deeper fans dug, the more pressing the question became: were these industry compliments nothing more than self-preserving platitudes, or had genuine goodwill once existed, only to erode due to undisclosed incidents that shattered trust? As observers pieced together accounts from all sides, one thing became evident: this situation was anything but black and white. The same people who once shared easy laughter on talk shows were now communicating strictly through attorneys and carefully worded public statements. And with each revelation, it became clear that this wasn't just another celebrity scandal. It was an exposé of the high-stakes world behind Hollywood's glossy facade, where reputations and relationships could be obliterated by a single leaked document or a handful of text messages. And if the personal stakes weren't high enough, the broader implications of this battle began to take shape. Blake's attempt to secure a protective order for third parties, most notably Taylor Swift, underscored a chilling reality. In this war, no one, no matter how famous or seemingly uninvolved, was entirely safe from being pulled into the fray. Meanwhile, the looming Valentine's Day deadline only added to the suspense. Many speculated, would unseen video footage come to light? And if so, how would that reshape public perception of the actors and producers at the center of this unfolding storm? But the bigger question lingered in the background: what impact would this have on how Hollywood handles internal disputes moving forward? For high-profile stars like Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, influence is often enough to weather most scandals, provided they have the right PR strategy in place. But in this unfolding legal battle, even their reputations seemed at risk of suffering irreversible damage. Would studios be willing to cast actors entangled in a public courtroom war? Would fans remain loyal if the final revelations proved too shocking to ignore? As each new leak sent shockwaves through Hollywood, one thing became clear: this storm was nowhere near settling. Justin Baldoni, through his meticulously assembled website and the avalanche of documents he presented, appeared confident that the truth was on his side. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds' stunning shift, from openly praising Justin as a trusted collaborator to condemning him in private, hinted at a long-simmering tension that had now erupted into the open. Blake Lively, on the other hand, had made one thing abundantly clear: she wasn't afraid to fight for herself, her friends, or even her brand, even if it meant dropping a legal bombshell right in the middle of this high-profile battle. Adding another layer of intrigue was the question of authenticity. The once glowing testimonials from cast members, portraying an on-set environment of unity and mutual respect, now stood in stark contrast to the private grievances being exposed. The contradictions painted a picture of Hollywood as a world filled with hidden agendas, strategic alliances, and secrets lurking just beneath the surface. At the heart of it all was the ultimate question: could any of these fractured relationships ever return to what they once were, now that so much damaging information had come to light? Perhaps this entire ordeal served as a cautionary tale, proof that in the digital age, nothing stays buried for long. Even the strongest alliances, forged under the bright lights of fame, could crumble overnight if doubt and betrayal took hold. If there's one undeniable truth in this rapidly evolving saga, it's that no amount of wealth or celebrity can offer complete protection when the stakes are this high. And with so many unanswered questions and moving pieces, one certainty remains: the final chapters of this drama could drop at any moment, reshaping everything we thought we knew. The countdown to Valentine's Day is ticking, and the next revelation may be the most explosive yet. As this story continues to unfold, there's always more to uncover. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be the first to know when the next set of secrets is exposed.